So, hey Paul, hey Miss Green. Hi. Hey sister. I'm waiting for my partner in crime. My husband is actually on the phone with my guest right now. So they're like talking about boy stuff and they don't have time for me. So just waiting for him to come on in and then we'll begin talking about it. I don't know if I'm home, if my camera's right, but I'm trying to charge it. I'm on Instagram too, just in case. I have to cross-reference this so I can post it. I think this is bad though because it's sideways. Caleb, I see you on here. Go on Instagram and see if it looks really bad because it's sideways or if it's okay because you just got to turn your phone. Is that too much? There's an option here. That's pretty cool. Or you can switch it. Let's see. Turn. Or is that the other way? It's going to show you my dirty room. No. My water bottle. So how's everyone doing today? If anybody cares to speak, you can like ask to join in and you can talk to me. Sis, does it look crazy or no? It look okay? Nah, it look good? Okay, cool. Just turn your phone sideways because that's how I'm looking at it. But yeah, I wanted to talk about... So, those of you who haven't actually went to a podcast platform to actually listen to one of my podcasts probably don't know what I talk about. But I talk about God a lot. Alchemy for me is becoming my best self with God's help. But a lot of people seem to think that alchemy has something to do with witchcraft or astrology, essentially, has something to do with witchcraft. So I want to record this too. Okay, so welcome to another episode of Alchemy with A to Z. I'm your host, and I'm recording this live while I'm on Facebook and Instagram as well. The people who are, when they hear it back, it won't, sound crazy. But yeah, so I wanted to talk more about what it is to be an alchemist, what it is to manifest things, because people seem to think that that word does not include God, or like manifest is some magical shit you do. Like, no, it's just like prayer without works. Manifesting is dead too. For me, in my experience and in my life, I love God, and I don't like, I understand why some people think it's evil. Our culture was raised to believe that anything that isn't Christianity is not holy or not valid or whatever. But see, I wasn't raised like that. I was sent to Baptist church across the street. I studied with the Jehovah's Witness maybe 3 doors down. I went to a Catholic school, and we joined an AME church. So I grew up kind of exposed to a lot of different religions, and what they all have in common is treat others how you want to be treated, basically. But they all have a similar story, a Jesus-like story. I don't know a lot. I'm not going to get into details about people's religion that I don't know personally, but there's a Jesus story in almost every religion. But I just want people to understand that studying astrology does not require you to not believe in God or to not speak with God. I want anybody who thinks that you can even compare God to astrology to understand God created astrology. That's like comparing a child to its mother. You ain't been here long enough. You were created by this. You can't compete where you don't compare, and there's nothing that can compete with God. So I don't think it's sensible to even compare God to astrology or to think that there's a new age way of thinking. I'm speaking for myself. I didn't decide, I'm going to just start I'm going to decide to think like everybody else think. No, I literally been trying to find God since I was a little girl for myself. And a lot of people, their religion tell them how to have a relationship with God. They go by these religious rules. And I'm not saying I don't follow religious rules. I do. I have morals. I don't cheat. I'm married. I had sex before marriage. I can't say I didn't want to. I had plans on it, but how things go. You make plans, whatever, but then you stay in the world long enough, you become part of the world if you're not careful. So I'm learning to be in the world and not of the world. That's the trick. You can be here and you don't have to do what everybody else does. That's not me judging anybody who doesn't live by that. That's not me saying my religion or Christianity weighs more than the Islam religion or any other religion. That's pretty ignorant. Let's see. Share it. Hold on. Where you at, bruh? My boy's in here. So he studies, okay, the original text, like Hebrews, like. All right, so shalom. Okay, so my I have my iPad here on Facebook, and I'm recording right next to it.
I think you might have to mute. What?
Mute. Okay. Can you hear it? You can hear me playing back? Can you hear anything?
I heard you twice just then.
Are you looking at it twice?
You better now. Yep, it's good.
It's good. Huh?
No. We should be good.
You good now?
I think it's good.
All right, so they can hear you on.
I believe so.
They can hear you on my IG, but they can't see you. So I have my brother on here. That is definitely Black Ice. She heard your voice. That's Black Ice. So, all right, okay. So if you just now meeting him, this is my brother Mikey Israel. Okay, formerly known as Black Ice. BK born, well, better known as Lil Michael Howell. He's just been through a whole lot of changes and trying to find himself and find God. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think people are so afraid to try different religions or study. God ain't mad at you for studying. Why would my hair mess? But what type of parent or what type of loving being would be upset with you for studying anything? You can study what you want. I'm not upset. Like, I don't see a loving God being upset with you for studying different religions, or just trying to figure out your own way. I think that's some strange stuff to do. And it's very brave of you to step out, because people should call you crazy and, you know, all that stuff. What's up, Will? What's up, Willis? Yeah, but how you tell us more about that? How you went from LaMichael Howell to Mikey Israel? Can you do that?
So pretty much, I graduated college and I was working a job. It's still doing the playback.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna just cut it over here. Up IG. Sorry, guys. Y'all gonna have to go to my Facebook. I can put, matter of fact, just go to my Facebook page and you'll see it. I'm sorry. Can't do both. Okay, guys. Whatever. Anyway, yeah. All right. So is it better now that that's gone?
All right. So no, I'm still in a delay for sure. But anyway, I'm gonna just try to talk and see if it pick up however. So 2012, a guy asked me, he said, "Hey, what's your nationality? What tribe you come from?" And I didn't know. So he got out of the car and started walking off, and I was like, "Hey, ask me something else." And he was like, "You for real?" And I was like, "Yeah, I put the car in park." I was working for Enterprise at the time, and they told me pretty much to, take him home, whatever. He ain't say nothing the whole way. He asked me that question, got out, tried to walk away. The second question to me was, "What tribe do you come from?"
I don't know.
I was like, "Nah." So I got out the car to try to talk to him. The guy ran away from me. Like, the guy started running away. He's like, "You trying to fight me? Da da da." I closed the door. I was like, "Bro, I don't know what you just asked me. I ain't going nowhere."
But he had you nervous.
I ain't going nowhere until we actually have this conversation.
Right.
I had him nervous apparently, but I can see why now, considering you can't really talk to people about these. You talk about God, religion, anything like that. It
scares people.
People are going to get offended. Because it's going to make it seem like you're better than them in some way, shape, or form.
Because it challenges what they were taught, and they hadn't done research to even have a conversation with you about it. And instead of saying, "I'm not knowledgeable of that," they automatically get offended and try to shut you down.
Right. Hold on, let me see something, because maybe it's me. I'm finna hop out and hop right back in.
Okay.
Because it's still doing that. Hold on 1 second.
All right, that's cool. Hey, Kenyatta. Hey, Becky. Becky, I need you on here one day. You've been through a lot, and you still manage to smile and show out and be a great spirit and not nasty to nobody. A lot of women think that they go through things and like true strength is still being able to give love even though you've been hurt. It's not being a bitch and being a hard ass and want to fight. That's not really that's victim mode. Still need healing. Like all of us need healing every day, but you're really doing good when you can stay when you can still love on other people regardless of what you've been through. And the girl Becky, I didn't mean to call you out like that, but she's always been a real light to me in my news feed. So when she posted something the other day about what she had been through, it was like, damn, I just wanted to hug her and send her some love. So kisses to you for still being a light through whatever. Yes. You back? You better? You look
way better.
In here looking like Malcolm X, looking like he would come in here with a gray t-shirt on, looking like you behind some wall. I'm saying it for y'all say.
Nah, I'm in the room chilling, man. Just just chilling.
I gotta talk
Let me get comfortable some, man. Let me get comfortable some, man. But yeah, so yeah, pretty much, man. 2012, a guy asked me my nationality, tribe. I didn't know, so. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, it's time to go up. It's time to like
I
start like learning.
Fuck, I am.
Because he didn't tell me. Like he didn't tell me. So he was like, go find out, come back to me when you got the answer.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? So couldn't find out. Next day. I'm at home, like, got off work, research, don't know what this man talking about, went back over there. When I went over there, he gave me a book. He said, go read this book. It's called From Babylon to Timbuktu. First book I ever read. I opened it up, started reading it right away.
How old were you at this time?
24.
First book you ever read?
Well, nah, not like pertaining to this type of information, yes.
You mean the first book?
Of course, I read books, but to have a desire, to try to pick up a book and read it, like for my own intentions, yes.
Desire to read, and you read it.
Yes.
Okay.
At 24.
Okay.
So it got to that point to where it's like when I read it, it's like, man, why I got all these Bible verses in here? So that was the first thing that threw me off, because it's talking about history, but then it started having Bible verses in here, and I'm just like, man, I ain't really with this. So because they were there, I opened up the script though and started looking at every last one of them, and it's like it aligned. It aligned with them not telling us who we are, where we come from, any of that, what we're made of. Mm-hmm. So that's why even when people go to that talk about God, take all religions aside, and I say this all the time.
Thank you. That part right there. The pastors that I know personally, the people who really walk with God, they're always open to conversations about love and God. It's never a debate.
But even that,
it's
the name Israel. Go ahead.
A man of faith is always happy to see somebody else faithful in something. You know, and so it's when you get to that.
No, I was just gonna say,
those people. Go ahead.
Nah, Israel. So like Israel in Hebrew means what you just said. See, if we start doing it like that, like he who strive with the Most High, he who rule with the Most High, the person who's walking with the Most High, who on that path, according to the scripture, like that's Israel. Well, according to the scripture, we come from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. I never knew that. That's what they weren't telling us. They weren't telling us that, hey, these scriptures are about us. Why are you reading a book if it's about a white man? You need to put that down. See, what they did was they took what was ours and they took what was ours pretty much and corrupted it.
They made a King James.
They corrupted it.
This is the thing, though.
So even that. So
man, when you go listen,
I'm happy you said that.
And they have a remix. There's certain versions of it, and it's different. It's different. Somebody remixed it. So no disrespect to God whatsoever when I say there's things in the Bible that I don't agree with because a man touched it. A man put his interpretation on it. It's his version. And so it doesn't take anything from my relationship with God for me to say, I don't agree with that. What's in that book? Everything that's in that book. There's no disrespect. I have scriptures from that book all over my house that bring me peace and joy and power throughout the day. So I'd be lying if I said it didn't hold power. I'm just saying I don't agree with everything in it. And that's okay. You don't agree with everything your mama say or how she move or your daddy, but you wouldn't dare disrespect them.
But that even go back to preferences though. That even just go back to preferences. But in the beginning, as you can see, like these are two different scripts. And that's why I try to tell people this is the original. This is what we have nowadays.
Okay, that's why I have him on here, because
But
the
see,
people on my
but
podcast
see,
can't see showing up the original text, which is in Hebrew.
so it's in ancient Hebrew. So once understood that aspect, because one of the verses that was in the from Babylon to Timbuktu was Genesis 11:1 that reads, and the whole earth was of one language and one speech. So it don't just mean what we think it means. Everything was in unison. The vibration, everything in the beginning, it was pure.
Right.
And then it went on to what it is that we have now. So that's why so many different misunderstandings. Like I was just telling you, I right now got my fringes on now. Got my fringes on, boy, those blue line. But guess what? Like the other day, I met a lady.
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know what fringes were.
I met a lady the other day, just seen her out. She had her fringes on. Of course, I dress different from most people. I have my caftans on, my full garments, my one piece. You know what I mean? Most people say it look like a dress, but I tell people you wouldn't talk to your pastor like that. You wouldn't talk to the priest like that. So it's like, understand, I'm here in your community doing the work. You know what I mean? These other men robbing you. Like, I do this for free. I don't charge anybody. So that's why I tell people, like, at the end of the day, when anybody have any type of sense of God, it comes from the ancient text. So whether, like, I talk to Muslims, they say Allah. So I break it down from the question you first asked me. My name. So it goes back to my name. My name is LaMichael. La in Hebrew means two. So it's two. La means two. L-A. Michael. In our language, it's spelled different, but it's L on the end. Mike L. That E-L represents God. So God in the ancient language, if they transliterated it, brought it over directly, it would have been Allah. So L is Allah and God is Allah, and both of those are titles, and the Most High name is Yahweh.
So here you have a man. What do you identify as far as religion? What would you say? Somebody said, "What's your religion?"
No religion, but I believe in Abraham, the Abrahamic language.
Okay,
and the Abrahamic religion.
It would be what?
I'm Yasharallah, or Israel. So I would be considered Israel.
So we're
not a landmass. So most people think.
What about Hebrew?
Hebrew is Hebrew will be more the ethnicity.
Okay. And see,
Hebrew
there's a
will be
lack
more
of
of like.
knowledge.
So that's like, because like most people that say we black, well, we're not black, we Hebrew. Most so-called black people would be considered Hebrew because Abraham was Hebrew. He crossed over. So we would be the people that crossed over.
I saw a white man on Instagram preaching that. It was like, they don't want us. I don't understand how in school, when we learn to preach, they don't want to tell us who these people are. These special people, they don't want to say that they're black people. But I was here to tell you today.
But they're not going to put it back in his original name.
Yeah.
Typology and all that. Typology, like they changed the different things up. But my name, the meaning of my name means who is like God. So I'm pretty sure you remember, I used to question things a lot growing up. So the fact I used to question everything, but it was the questioning things within myself. Because Michael simply means who is like God, and it's a question. And Ibrit or Yasha, or you got Ibrit or Abar Yah. You know what I mean? The Hebrew in Hebrew is Abar Yah or Ibrit. You know what I mean? It breaks down totally different from this language, but it means who is like Yahweh. So it's a statement in Hebrew versus a question in English. So it's like, well, once I understood my name being La Micah Yahweh or La Micah Yah, I was like, yo, my name is Micah Yah. Like, this is my actual name broken down from the beginning.
I asked that to say this. You have a black man who does not identify with any religion, saying that the original text, he's identifying with, he said Allah it was in there, right? The name of God?
Allah is El. El is Allah.
Right. So what I'm saying is, if I was to think about God is the father of the whole wide world, right? If I had 10 children, like my grandma had 7 kids, some of them call her mother, some call her mother, some of them call her mama. So if my brother calls God Allah and my other brother calls God Yeshua, and I call him Jehovah, or if that doesn't take away your beliefs, and what you call him does not take away from the Almighty. In my eyes, it doesn't take away either.
So the fact that you even said that, like, the Most High is all in this eternity, like who he is. Right. So I just had somebody the other day pretty much argue the same thing. When you see above my head got Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. It's read from right to left. Yahweh on the top, Yahweh Shai at the bottom. Yahweh Shai is Joshua. Yahweh is the Most High name. Hallelujah. So even when we came over here, we were saying hallelujah. We were saying kumbaya. It's like we had to question that. Praise Yah.
Listen, Do you think because you know more context about God or his real name, you don't think God loves you more than somebody who don't have that type of knowledge, do you?
So no, because you have people that's practical. So this right here, why I say that I'm no better than nobody else. The difference is what has now shown and reflected in life is I made a practical application of what I've learned. See, I don't care if you're a Christian, because see, I know plenty.
Can you tell the reason I got him to break down his name is because he realized the spelling means something. So people like to say alchemist. People like to pick up witchcraft and first of all, the word witch for me is kind of like the word bitch too. Because my brothers, when I make natural products, right? That heal your skin. Like literally, you put it on the next day, it's like this. Like, oh, you're a witch because you made this potion to make me feel better. Or people put it in their hair, and their hair's going to like, oh, you're a witch. So in that context, I'm like, oh, that's cute. I'm flattered, right? When one of my best friends, she's a tattoo artist. She calls us witches because we make things that can make you feel better. We don't go pray and say a spell. Well, I do pray. I ask God to give healing to whoever uses it. But what's different? Like if I said I was a Christian all day long, would it be okay? Like what makes it wrong for somebody to herbs? It's not witchcraft. But when
you gotta get it the full thing that we saying though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Hold on. I just want to say to the Ock that's on here, he said that we are better. He said, yes, we are better and above all nations. But understand, we are one nation. So we can't be above the people that's well liked. You only as good as your weakest link. So it don't matter that I'm doing right. All right, the other day I walked in the Ollie's and I said shalom to a sis who had her fringes on, and she pretty much like disrespected me and looked me up and down like, where your fringes at? Well, hold on. The fringes is a reminder to keep the law, statutes, commandments. Why you dealing harshly with your brother? Like why it ain't no love when your brother just came to greet you in proper persona across the board? Like I'm shalom sis, no disrespect, no none of that, but because I ain't have fringes on. But it's like, okay. But then also me, I don't believe as she believes, but the only thing that we have to commit to is the 10 Commandments. Right. Like what we agreed upon with the Most High was the 10 Commandments. It is 613 laws that our people follow. That's a part of our customs, traditions, and everything. And that's why I tell people whether you 613, but it's more laws here in America than that. So, but that's why I tell people overall, like we as a whole are the Most High chosen people. So that's why I don't put myself against a Christian or Buddhist or any so-called black person. I'm not better than them because they are me as well. They are me as well.
That's what makes people upset with Christianity. Christians try to act like if you ain't a Christian, you ain't. Not all Christians, because I got some good Christians on my side. I love my pastor, my brother-in-law.
But that's why I said, but there are Christians, good Muslims, good all that.
Exactly, there's good people in every race and religion, and it's bad people and evil people in every race and religion. And people come to ask me, "Oh,
so that's why I say deaths are all wicked."
I'm trying to tell my sister to bring me my laptop charger before I can't record this. But yeah,
I did not say that, bro. Like you might want to go back and rewatch this. He said, "Am I saying all nations? How did I say all nations when I'm talking about?"
No, we're not. We're gonna,
the so-called black people, the so-called black people. Like we know there is a difference between us. What I'm saying is me versus me.
Yeah, in this episode, I really want to focus on. I just brought it up because words are spelling, and my daddy named me Asia. It's an Arabic name, 1 in a million, right? So I literally turned out there's nobody like me. You can't even the people who are like me aren't like me. And then my middle name Zubaida means best of the best, cream of the crop, right? And my products literally like it's the best in beauty in the Quran. It is, and I didn't know that. But you have to be careful with spelling and words and stuff or whatever. Like I named my son Makai because if we wanted something like his daddy name Mackenzie, turns out Makai means he who is like God, right? And all he does is create all day long. He's singing or drawing. He is literally creating all day long. And when I brought it to his attention, he was like, "You know what you named your son?" And I'm like, "Dang, you're right." And then Lena, I named her Lena because it was pretty, but Lena means light. And literally, she'd bring tears to your eyes. She's such a light. Next to my bed. Let's see.
But see, that go back to with my daughter, Shamaya, Naamaya, all that. Like, we're called by the Most High name. So we're made in his image, truly. But we have to know that and raise our own vibration to a higher level to be able to even seek after him. Because it's like, at the end of the day, I have people that say that Most High name is certain things, this, that, and third. Listen, man, how are you making these things practical? You're a healer. You're a healer. Come on, you're not practicing magic. It's a difference. You are a healer. I am a healer. It's a difference.
So we're not gonna
He made everybody.
go deep
Stop
into,
asking me stuff.
I'm not here to go deep into religion. All I'm saying is God created astrology. Astrology is actually in the Bible. So before anybody comes saying,
even, hey, so even on that, the backdrop of the Bible, what they took from, you know what I mean, is it goes to the book of it's called the Book of Formation. Sefer Yetzirah is an app for that too, and they go into the breakdown of, you know what I mean, different things, how things come together. Like when people say that they praising the universe, you know what I mean, they just omitting the Most High, because the Most High is in all things.
well,
He created
that's
all
the thing
things.
too. I think a lot of people have it twisted with people like the universe listens or the universe, like God created the universe. So when people say the universe is not taking credit from God, it's literally saying I'm putting my thoughts out there and it's coming back. It's really hard for people to, I think for some people to say, oh, God told me, when you don't actually hear a voice and know who to identify, right? So I think a lot of people struggle with that. But when you look for signs, like from the universe or from God,
But see, that's why you have to acknowledge. But that's why you have to acknowledge him in all things. See, the first commandment, most of our people, you know what I mean, skip over that, which is the acknowledgement of him. The first three commandments deal with the Most High. The other commandments deal with everybody else within the community. So that's why I tell people, like, overall, we're supposed to be seeking out everything and using it for the good. You're not using anything for the bad. And I'm a witness to that, vice versa, like with my products and different things like that.
People come ask me about tarot, and I tell them, it's a deck of cards. A deck of cards can't hurt you. It's the people, evil intentions hurt people. It's never a deck of cards. It's never voodoo that's hurting people. It's the evil people behind and doing the voodoo.
Pastors, though.
It's never Catholics that's hurting people.
Look at these pastors. It's pastors out here with the knowledge. That's why I tell people, it's people out here that's doing way more that you look up to, you know what I mean, but you'll never suspect them because they're hiding it all from you. Like the lifestyle that I live and the lifestyle that other people live, he ain't got nothing. Like my relationship with the Most High is personal.
The church is to spirituality as the hospital is to health. So people are in the church because they're sick. People have shit going on in their minds that only God can deliver them from. So I used to be afraid to go to church, thinking that the person next to me was perfect, and I knew I wasn't perfect. I know what I did last night and yesterday, so I couldn't show up because I wasn't perfect like everybody else there. It wasn't until I realized none of these motherfuckers is perfect. Oh, you scandalous,
right?
You imperfect. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was so much going on, and it wasn't until I realized these people here, because they know they're not perfect, and they just they're asking God for help. And that's when I learned, okay, I'm not perfect, and maybe I need to ask God for help. When I started asking God for help and trusting God and following my first mind because somebody told me that was God. Because I don't know, I have to say, I don't never hear people publicly say, "Oh, God's voice sounds this way or that." I can't tell you what God's voice sounds like. I can't tell you that, but I hear God. I know God speaks through me and speaks through people to me, and He shows me things and like signs and stuff. So, but I'll never discredit God because I look for God and God showed me. But I'd be lying if I said, "Oh, it's this because people will look for a voice, and when they don't hear it, they'll be like, "Oh, I guess God don't talk to me." No, God talks to you through your life and through the people around you and through things that happen.
But
and
He gave us already. So I feel like that's where people got it wrong at. We have to get back to doing right to understand like the path that we got to be on. Like, there's no way that we're gonna be doing wrong and expect good. Like, that's just insanity within itself.
Okay, that goes back to one thing of all the religions have in common is karma. You get out what you put in. So if people
reap what you sow,
right back. You reap what you sow. So it's not even, people think that it's, oh, you're going to hell if you don't do right. No, you're going to feel guilty if you do fucked up shit. And that's hell in itself. Like right now, when everything's fine, it's a heaven. Everything's chill.
We're living in hell.
I believe so too.
We're living like this is hell here, and we have to create the other condition which can change, but we as a people have to want to change because we were the people that was given the instructions to change everything. And we are the ones that's not carrying out these certain things. Like, so it goes back to the family base, the family structure, and community. Say it again.
I said the astrologers think so as well. And I also wanted to note that anybody who's ever come to me to get their hair done, anybody who's ever hung out with me knows that I know things and don't know how I know things. Okay, my discernment. Like, and I'm not saying, oh, this is gonna happen for you, or no, I'm not a prophet. No, not like that. So like I'll be talking to somebody and he's telling me about his issues with his girlfriend and what she wants from him. And I'm like, a lot of people let what happened with their parents interfere with what they have going on. So I don't know. Maybe your parents got a divorce, but that don't have nothing to do with you. Well, he's like, how did you know our parents got a divorce? I'm like, I just know it's coming. The longer you live, the more wisdom you have. That's how grandmamas know what to tell you because they've been around long enough to put two and two together. That people don't just act irrational for nothing. It's everything we go through, and we've been conditioned. People don't be scared of marriage for nothing.
Right.
People don't be married for nothing. If you grew up seeing two people married, that's your ideal. If you grew up and saw two people divorced, you're scared because you don't want that. So in order to avoid divorce, you might avoid marriage altogether. But being around so many people and interacting with so many people has allowed me to learn and gain some wisdom to where I'm able to tell people stuff where I don't need cards. I don't need your birth chart to be able to read you. I can feel it. I have discernment. The birth chart is to tell you, hey, you have these strengths and these weaknesses. Work on this and use this. That's literally what it is. It's not to say, oh, you gonna do this.
See,
no.
That's why I hate that. So you can ask anybody when their birthday is, and whether before they came into this truth or whatever, however the case may be, they know that zodiac sign. Like, why do you know the zodiac signs? Why even outside of that? If you ask people, hey, when is the first month of the year? They're gonna say January. Most people gonna say January. What's crazy?
Okay, watch this. I understood why the year would start while it's still dead outside and everybody's hibernating. Why would it start in spring when everything comes out? Why wouldn't that be the beginning of the year, right?
But if you go to the calendar, the start of the year starts with the zodiac signs. Aries, not Capricorn. Capricorn don't start the year. Most people don't know that. So, but even within considering that, people know, a lot of people, it's like they know one or the other.
And for a lot of people, their brain cannot stretch that far to imagine it. We've been lied to this whole time. There's no way. Fuck you for calling that out. Go to hell. And it's like, I'm sorry.
So that's why I say, you got one people that believe in the Greek side of it, and then like it's like a balance once you even come to this truth, and you have to find a balance all the way through. Because I was running so many people off from me, and I was wondering like, man, why I can't have no peace? But it's like, bro, I'm storing so much problems, so many problems and all, to where I couldn't have no peace. Come on with it. Nah, come on with it. I need a live review.
Yeah. So people have to learn to respect differences and don't assume things. You know how you can't assume that because I have lots that I'm a dyke, or because he's a man that he likes women. You can't assume that because you don't know us, right? So you can't assume because somebody studies astrology they don't love God or they don't fuck with God or don't believe in God. That's the farthest from the truth, because everybody I follow and learn astrology from, they talk about God. God get me through this. God know me. God gave me this gift. I'm going to use it. God told me to speak up. I'm going to do it. God,
but that's even being tapped into your spiritual side, though.
Right.
That's even just being tapped into your spiritual side. Some people don't have the brain to mentally, like the mental capacity to even like acknowledge the Most High, acknowledge that they're weak in the area.
Yes. Yes.
Mentally, physically, spiritually. That's why I tell people, like, one of the main things I had to do, another book, like I love to read now. Another book I had to get, it is from my elder, but he talks about it a lot, The Art of Self-Mastery. Once you master yourself, you don't have to go outside yourself for nothing.
But no, give him
like everything you need, like it goes back to even when people fast back in the day.
With relationship advice, if you know who you are, it don't matter who nobody else is. When you know who you are, and it took me somebody else knowing who I was, and I didn't know who I was, and I was gonna let him dog me out. He's just like, I can't even be with you. You deserve somebody with some money. Like, I can't take care of you. And I'm just like, what? But he saw my hustle. He knew I wanted a lot out of life, and he just wasn't up for the challenge. So even though it broke my heart then, I'm so glad he told me that. And sometimes it takes that. But now that once I figured out who I was, I'm like, I don't know how to half-ass love. I'm gonna give you all. I'm gonna pour everything into you. So I had to find somebody who deserved all of that. So you can't think that you're gonna show somebody all the love that you are and think they're supposed to just give it back. Some people don't have the capacity. It was TD Jakes. He said you might have a.
No, go ahead.
He said some people have a pint love and some people have a gallon. That pint love will empty itself out trying to fill you up. And you can fill them up, but you're still going to be half full. So you got to find people who can pour back and forth. You got to find people.
Right. No, that's real. I was just going to say as far as a lot of people, like back to the zodiac sign side of it and all, like, because I had, it was a Hebrew guy, a while back. He had commented on Facebook, and I was just like, he was saying like how certain compatibilities, and he was going so hard with it, and I was like, bro, so what you saying is me, I'll be just so attracted to, I'm an Aquarius, so-called, so I'll be just so-called whoever compatible to Aquarius, but they Japanese, they don't speak no English, none of that, but you tell me just based off a sign, I understand that, but we talking about compatibility and everything else now.
No, it's not always that, because listen, when I study astrology and birth charts, I have hundreds Like literally hundreds. You see this? I have hundreds of people's birth charts. These are all the people closest to me, my clients and friends. I have hundreds of people's birth charts. Right? So when I learn something, or like the first house, if you have Mars in the first house, you're gonna have an aggressive personality. So I automatically say, who's got an aggressive personality? I know my brother Quinn does, my sister Layla, and who else? And guess what? I look up their chart and it's there. So I use actual real live case scenarios, right? So I also have the synastry chart of multiple couples who've been together for a long time. And there are people who've been together for over 10 years who astrologically are not compatible. Versus I know people whose chart, they look like the best of friends and
But
lovers,
that's
but they
deeper
don't.
too, though. But see, but the difference is on that though, that's deeper than just a zodiac sign versus just matching the zodiac sign. We talking about with the natal chart, you know, it goes to the time of birth and everything else. So it's like, and that's also a person who you chose. When you get to the natal charts and you start doing it like that, that's somebody who you chose to be with. So now you can see if y'all are compatible based off y'all times, your purpose, your energy, everything from what aligns around us, because we affect everything and everything affects us. Like it is duality in life. Like I truly
Like
believe
the
that.
moon.
Everything.
Like the moon. The freaking moon. You check the moon to see when you're going fishing if it's safe to go, because it's the tide. The earth is 70% water, right? The earth. This big ass earth, right? And the moon moves the earth. Right? The water. But what us 70% little humans, the moon don't move us. But the jails and the hospitals are way more busy when it's a full moon than any other time of the month. Like science proves it, math proves it, statistics prove it.
But that proves that alchemy is okay. The practice of witchcraft is not okay. So
no,
when you
it's not
actually
okay
see,
to
and they
go
go back to
manipulate.
setting your intentions.
And
And
there's a
see,
lot of
but it
young
goes
girls
to intentions also.
get them intentions to make somebody fall in love with you, and that's not right. You don't manipulate nobody, sweetheart. I just want to
Come on,
say
man. But see,
I don't know if I said it or not, but I got the house, the husband, the cars, anything a woman might want to manifest, the business, the beamer. I got everything before I even thought of astrology. I need to know that. I wasn't trying to whip up nothing. God did all of that. Everything I got, God did that for me. The stores, the businesses, the family, the anything that you see, the long, luscious, beautiful hair, it was God, baby. God did that. He gave me the wisdom
it's time
to
put
study
in.
the ingredients that I needed to be my best self, and that's what happened. I alchemy. That's what happened. So if don't get it twisted, I don't know what your
Yeah, like I
astrology
said, a
is.
lot of people, even down to the people that talk about witch this, witch that. It's true witches out here. Like it's true, like that's gonna real deal try to mess you over, put spells on you, put stuff in the corners and da da da. Like it's all type of stuff like that. Being from Mobile, you know what I mean? I really want to say that's what happened to my brother because he wound up killing himself. And I really want to say like that's what happened. Like, and I heard some stories, but yeah, the fact that my brother's girlfriend or whatever ain't come, yeah, it's like it's a lot with it. So, you know what I mean, I just stayed away from it because of the path that I'm on now. It's just like I tell people, black ice
a
stood
bad
out.
spirit had courage to do that. Him and his right mind wouldn't do that. He had to be ill. I just,
But everybody kept telling me, hey man, your brother going crazy. Your brother going crazy. Well, say it again.
I said that's a lot. People don't know who they're mixing with. You don't understand when you mingle, when you decide to be with somebody, you take on their karma as well. So whatever they're going through, you're gonna go through that shit with them. So be prepared. So that's just what it is.
That's real.
That's just what it is.
That's real. Even mental health is real. Like so, even down to that, like the psyche, like
mental health, everything you're gonna inherit it. Whatever he got going, you got going, and vice versa. So you got to be prepared for that, and you got to be selfless and willing to take that on. Like literally, everybody got baggage. Who you willing to help carry theirs, and make sure they're helping you carry yours, and make sure y'all letting go of shit that you don't need.
Yeah, that's real. I ain't gonna lie, like I said, just coming down now, can just help me, to go back within inside myself. Because, like I said, just certain conversations we had, and I had to just sit back and self-evaluate. But most times it be that, like it just be a simple reality check. Like, bro, what? You good? Stand up. You ain't drowning. Like, and it's like each time you like, you right.
We forget who we are because when we're in the world, we get lost. We be in the world for so long. We be in the world tells us certain shit. We forget who we are. We focus on getting somewhere and not where we at or who we are or how far we've come. So sometimes you got to get around somebody who can remind you, hey, you know who you are? This is nothing. And when I say, do you know who you are? You're God's child. And somebody else said something about calling yourself gods and goddesses. Yeah, the scripture somewhere says ye are gods.
Yeah, ye
That's
are
what
God.
Christians told
Psalms 81, I
me.
want to say. 81.
So,
Yeah.
so like,
See,
and I
but once
think the
again,
whole
they go
argument,
back to being made in his image.
right? And but stop judging folks. Just worry about yourself. So for study yourself, or if you are concerned about somebody else, be legit concerned and ask him, hey, what you got going on? Don't just automatically
Talk to
assume
them, but
anything.
even that,
That's not
and do it directly to them. If like before I make some public, whatever, I go directly to that person, to the source. That's just like a lot of people say that they praise to the Most High, Let your actions show that. Whatever you do, let your actions show. Put in
exactly.
the actual
That's
work.
it.
If I got a
Walk like
problem
it and
with you,
talk
I'm
like
not gonna post it. Hey, Age, I got a problem with you. I'm gonna come to you. Hey, Age, everything good? What's up?
it.
Hey, this the
Friend.
problem I got with you. Like it's direct. Like that's how it's supposed to be. Go to you.
Right. That's what real
Whoever you got a
concern
problem
is.
with, go to them. You got a problem. You need to pray.
That's
Whatever.
what love
Take it to
does.
the Most High. Like.
That's what love does. You take it somewhere else, then you want a problem. Honestly, you like
Straight
it,
up.
and
And
a
that's
lot
why I
of us
tell people,
like
even
it because
before you
we
take
grew
it to
up in
your
this.
pastor,
No, but for real, be
yeah,
real
before
with
you take
yourself. A
it to
lot of
your
us grew
pastor,
up in
anybody
this,
outside
so it
yourself.
feels normal. It feels normal. So we
Straight
already
up.
did. Well, I used to, because it felt normal. Like we've been so good for so long. It's like, damn, this is what life is like when you get the partner you pray for. It's got to give me who He made me for. So all this shit, God was in it. Everything I got going on, God is in it. Like God is deeply in it. And I pray that whoever's watching this on Facebook or who heard about it, whatever, when you hear alchemy, you hear somebody who's gonna be their best self. The Alchemist Academy is about me teaching you how to get in your bag mentally, physically, and spiritually, because it's out here for all of us to have.
All
When you
praise.
think that
All
you're
praise.
gonna run out, you're gonna run out.
When I
You know how
first
many
came
ways
into
you
this
live?
truth, yo, when I first came into this truth, I was all mental. Why? Because I
All
was
mental.
overloading my brain with it. I was all mental.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to the spiritual side, started tapping in, and I was like, oh, this totally different. This feels different. I started seeing my
Yeah,
walk
you don't
shift. And then
religion.
physical.
Talk to God
And then,
sincerely.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But that's why I tell people the origins matter. That's why I had pulled this book out, this script out, like to even show, like, yo, this says the Holy Bible.
Yeah,
I
but I
don't
don't have.
necessarily believe in the
But I
Bible. I
want to
believe in the
say this
Torah.
though. I don't have that copy of the Bible, but me and God still like this. God's still gonna bless me because I'm gonna work hard, and He's gonna push me hard too. So He's not saying
So
that you're not working because you don't have this book. But if you really want to talk to God, get His
yeah,
original text. If you really want to know about God,
facts.
do
Dig
the
in.
research. Don't the end. That's it.
Listen, before I got this book, yo, I started researching words, finding the origins. Like, once this dude told me my tribe, all this stuff, like once we actually got the bill, and I was like, after I read the book and we went over there, he confirmed it pretty much. And I was like, we got to talking. He was like, yeah, look up everything that you don't know the origins to. And that's what made me go to
We grew
transliteration
up,
versus translation.
us 80s kids, we grew up when if you wanted to learn something, your grandma, my grandma had encyclopedias, but if she was missing, if you didn't have an
Go get the book.
encyclopedia, there
Yep.
was no Google. So you can imagine our
Yep.
minds once we got Google in our hands. We got encyclopedia right here. Do you think we're not gonna look it up?
I'm looking it
Why you
up.
think we
I'm looking it
the
up.
most businesses? Why you think we doing the most changes? Because we didn't have it, so now we cherish it. But those who are born with it don't understand the value of it, and the ones before us they don't understand it at all. So it's a magical thing. Us 80s, 70s, 80s, probably early 90s babies too, if you were there to see it. But just love yourself and give others grace. My grandma says you have to live and let live. So don't be all high and mighty to where you judging nobody for what they study. If I have you've never nowhere.
That's how I ran people off though. Like when I first came into this, I was just like, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that, you ain't doing that. I ain't giving nobody no grace. And that's when I realized I was like, yo, like
You was
I'm still
lonely
getting
after
it right
that.
now, even though I know this. But I was
And
just
another
like,
thing
yo,
that
I'm still trying to figure it out as I'm going. I don't know everything. So it's just like, okay, well,
that's
that's
what
why
I'm
it's good to have
saying.
an elder.
Elder, that's the word. Because my husband's he's 10 years older than me. We started dating when I was 25. He was 35. So it wasn't no weird shit. But being able to see him 10 years ahead of me and still trying to figure it out. Like we got a nice house, cars, businesses, and everything, but we still be trying to figure shit out. And he's got friends. He had his dad. Lil Ray's my favorite person ever. Like I fucking love his dad. He taught me so much. Especially he was a Latter-day Saint. He told me to study shit for myself. Go read the scripture for yourself. And I don't know much about the Mormon religion, but he told me your family is sealed together for eternity. and that you get buried in white. And I've never heard none of that in this black folks' religion. There's other stuff I've been talking about, but I said that I was gonna look more into it. I just haven't, but I'm honored to have been exposed to that. He died with a smile on his face because he had done everything he felt like he had to. He raised his children. He took care of his wife until she passed away. He did everything right. He said that my job here is done. He died with peace because he did everything he could. Job well done, my wealth. What does it say? What does God say when you do? That's
My
the type of
good
life
and
I want
faithful
to live.
servant.
So being able to witness
Right.
that and he used to tell me just do your best and find out for yourself. Don't listen to nobody else. He's got a son with his own church. He would come sometimes, but he had his own faith. And it was nothing against nobody. It was believe in your own. You do your own research and don't just read the verse. Read the whole chapter. Don't just take it out of context. Don't let it make you shiver. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We all out here together. It don't rain on one nigga. All of us going through it. All of us.
And that's what brought me back. That's what brought me back down to it. Because I was like, man, okay. That's what brought me back down to it. Just realizing, like, okay, a lot of stuff has changed for me, but we as a people still in the same situation. Like,
right, and you have
so
to
nothing
no
has really changed.
We are, thank you. No matter real people who are really tapped into the collective, no matter how successful we get, how happy we are, how full we are, if someone else is hungry, there's something inside that bothers us. If somebody else still don't know who they are, you're still struggling, it brings tears to my eyes that you're confused. You know what I'm saying? So like
it hurts
hard out here for
like knowing the wisdom and the information that I know now, it hurts me to go out into the world because I see so much wrong and I want to help everybody. But I also understand too, you know what I mean, like my role here. My role is to help, give, do all this, but it's more so to my family first. Like, so that's why I had to start prioritizing, like, man, let me make sure my girl's good. Let me make sure I'm home. Let me make sure I'm in the house. But all these things I always wanted anyway. I always said, so my dad got locked up when I was 2. You know what I mean? 2 months. And, you know, so it was just like, I always said I wanted my family together. So, you know what I mean? Just considering that my dad got out right before I turned 19. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, I actually want, you know what I mean? I want life to be different. You know what I mean? I want to have both my children in the household. I want to have a successful family and all that. Like, I want to be able to leave. Mm-hmm.
You let it make you. And that's literally it. You have a choice every day, the gift of choice. You either let it make you or break you. The most beautiful
I waited till I was 30.
Most successful, strong people. So many of us have been through the worst, the things. And I think what helps is letting people know that. Because you see these great people and you like, damn, I can't be great like that because I've been fucked over so many times. Or I fucked up so many times.
But you can.
So it takes.
But you can. And this is how you do it. Listen, man. I hit A1 up one day and I was just like, hey, I want to make natural products. She was like, okay.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh yeah. She was like, okay. And I was like, bro, I ain't never hear that. Like what? What you mean, okay? Like I wasn't expecting that. I asked, but it was like, okay. I was like, damn, that's crazy because
okay, come on. And then
not too many people do that.
Yeah, and I
right,
taught
like
how
let's
to
do it. Just like I've had people.
Yeah, and that
everything.
hurts my feelings.
So that's why I tell people like, but you have people out here that have information, knowledge, whatever, that's willing to get you to that point to where you need to be. Like overall, like wherever you desire to be, there's people out here that's already working in that.
I'm sorry, I keep talking over you. I know you hate that.
Now go ahead. Go ahead.
So I've really lost so many friends in this natural beauty, being a businesswoman, because you learn who your real friends are. When people know that they would treat you a certain type of way, they assume you would treat them the same way. So for the girls who wouldn't even come tell me, hey, I want to do natural products, who decided I can't be your friend no more because I'm stepping into that lane, that's pretty fucked up because I'm sensitive. But I really love you so much for saying, hey, I need to do what you're doing. And I say, okay, this is how you do it. And you doing it. And you feeding your family. And you call me with advice every now and then. And you still fuck with my shit. And you still support me. And you still talk to me as a friend. So I know it's for you. You looking like
I be trying not to call.
You're trying not to write, but that's because you're sincere. So I had to learn that it's nothing against me for what they did. That's something in their own character where they wouldn't do it for me. They wouldn't do it for their friends. So they wouldn't expect me to do it for them. But no, I can give you the recipe. I can give you the ingredients, but it's me, baby. I can't give you me, and it's you, baby. I can't be you.
That's real though, because main juice. I tell people straight up with main juice, hey, you want You know what I mean? Like whenever people want the juices and stuff like that, bro, what you got in it? Yeah, but you ain't gonna make it like me. You gonna get the juicer, you gonna do all that stuff. My process on how McDonald's
Not
way
to
is they
mention,
way for a
if
reason.
they
Come up with a
do,
system that works for you.
it could be the exact same
Hmm.
juice. It's not you though. God gave you what He gave you,
Yes.
the swag,
Yeah.
you know. And what people
Facts.
have to understand, everybody got your audience. Everybody not for you, and I had to learn that. The people, my brother told me, Asia, the
Facts.
people who use your product care about themselves. And I'm like, what? You have to care about yourself to use your product.
Mm-hmm.
But he was
You know, we
right.
just
Because
I
I'm
gotta
like,
send you the deodorant.
the conscious of influence.
I gotta send you the
To
deodorant
what?
too.
Oh
You
yeah, I
just went ahead
tried.
and yeah, been rocking that
But
thing now
people
for what?
pour
I've
the
been rocking
rose
that thing
water
now
in
about a
it.
good month.
Okay. And I might need a label on it. I need some of y'all peppermint rose water before I need that on my shelves for my customers too, for the itch, because I like that shit and it don't smell like the tea tree do. So we might plug that in real soon. But yeah, my whole point, I was gonna try to hit them with a few scriptures where astrology is in the Bible, but I'm not doing their homework for them. Do your own homework.
No.
Do your own
No,
homework.
you can
I
look
don't
it
want
up.
you to
Sorcery, divination. A lot of stuff is talked about, but whenever it tells you not to do these things, it's talked about in the evil context. Whenever it goes back to a person's intentions, what I had to learn, on this walk was stop. I started judging people based off their intention versus their action. Because sometimes action, people mess up. But you
if your
think
intentions well, it's all well.
like why? Like why did you think to do these things?
Interpretation kills intentions. Sharp Picasso, he got it tatted on him. He taught me that. It's true though. My interpretation of your will kill your intentions. My intentions could be to shed light on you, and you could think that my intentions are your interpretation might be that I'm trying to call you out for your religion, and it will go all the way wrong because you don't even have a religion. You love you follow God like the book. Like it's not a religion, it's a lifestyle. And I love that because a lot of people join religions because everybody doing it. It's not because you thought about it or you talked to God yourself. You did it because that's what you feel like you're supposed to do. Do it because it feel right. I love the Lord because it feel right. I love God because I'm not supposed to be here right now. I know people, it sounds cliche, but I'm not. I was born with a birth defect where I'm supposed to be paralyzed and mentally retarded. If you listen to all my episodes, probably the second or third time you heard me say this, but for real. And I didn't even give God the credit or the glory for the longest because it wasn't, oh man, my boy's out here. But I didn't give him the credit because it didn't seem miraculous enough. But I've been through a whole lot and I'm okay. And I've witnessed a whole lot and I'm okay. Not because, pretty much because I have a choice. But why would I let something that messed up my day, mess up my week, and mess up my year and mess up my life? That's what we do a lot of times. We take things that we go through and we hold on to them. And I know it's hard to let go sometimes, but for me, instead of just saying, "Oh, I can't focus on that," I'll find something else to focus on. So maybe you need a hobby. I focus on business. You want to come back in, bro? I just say the word. Hey, Torin, you want to get back in here? You want to get in here? Oh no, he didn't send the request. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that. Like, talk to God yourself. I'm not saying go make no seance and call on no spirits. I don't play like that. I let spirits rest in peace. I don't talk to him at all. God's really the only. That's it. I talk to God. But I talk to God like I talk to y'all. Like, you see the shit? Really, God? Because why would I pretend to be somebody else when God can see and knows all? And, I'm somewhere between it's already written and free will. I think we have free will, but at the same time, I think it's already written. If I wrote a movie, or it just have to be open to the possibility of all kind of stuff because we don't know, and that's okay. Like before you spend years and years pondering, research, does it matter? Is the question you should ask first. And no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Page one. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up because we like almost at an hour. I'm going to upload this to my podcast, and I want you guys that's watching and listening to visit thealchemistacademy.com and sign up for like some group coaching so we can talk to each other together like this. I'm gonna do it like once a week, and we can I want y'all to actually get on and talk to me. We can work through some problems because sometimes all you need is another window to look out of. So I'll give you a different perspective. And what else I want to tell y'all? Make sure you follow the Instagram page because I'm posting from there like every day. Like I'm a poster, so I'll be posting from there things to motivate you and to think about. And that's just what I'm here for. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. Until next week, you guys. I'm out of here. So I'm done recording. I just stopped it. I should probably end it here too, so I can put this on YouTube or whatever. But yeah, thank y'all, and